Ozzy Osbourne. Actually, we need to be saying Randy Rhoads here. I don't know. This is off the tribute album. This is a CVT guitar lesson for Tony. Tony, you picked some of my favorites, man. I mean, and the fact that you wanted stuff off the tribute means you wanted the extra goodies. Randy obviously plays some things different here live. One of them is in the chordings, because in the studio, by the way, this one's standard. I know in the studio that it's like a... He does these bigger, and he doesn't really do them in here. Towards the end, he throws it in, you know, once or twice on a couple of the chords, but he just keeps it more of the root 5 power chord thing. So, a lot of pages, 8 pages here. All the little riffs and pieces and all that good stuff, man. So it starts with 12th fret A, just sliding in at 101. But the main hook comes in, open A, 2D. And then we're palm muting string 5, the A string open, and it's 12 times, so it's kind of like the pulse of it. That's palm muted alternate picked. 4th fret D and G, do the same thing with the opens. Okay, then the 5th fret D and G. Now this is going to go 8 times instead of 12. It's still palm muted and alternate picked, but he throws in a slide, and he does a lot of these on this tribute album. 14th fret A sliding into open D and G. Basically like the rock G. And then open D, 2G, no, open A, open D, 2G, 3B. It's the D chord. So it's and then 3rd fret low E, quick half step bend, pull off to open. I don't think that's done studio either. Okay, that goes 2 times. 2nd time, no star. So in place of this, you're throwing in a different fill. This is pretty much the same as the studio. Or actually, I don't think he runs up to the low E in the studio, but he might. Pinch 1B, pull off to open, do that 3 times. 2G, pull off to open twice. 2 on the D, pull open. 3 on the A, pull open. And 3 on the low E, pull open. And if you're not listening close, it's easy to miss that last one. Alright, section 1A at 1:15, the timestamp, that's what we just did. Played 1 time, that's just the regular way. Section 1B at 1:22, just lots of these little fillers, and I figured you wanted them. So he'll do the A5 power chord, open 2 on the A and D, jumps into a pinch harmonic on 2G with vibrato. 17A, slide in. Don't overanalyze the fret starts for these slides, just get the effect of the slide. Then he continues on from the 4th fret D and G with the 12 palm mutes, you know, on the open A, alternate picked. 5th fret D and G, and then followed by 8 of the open A's. And then slide off from 15E. Once again, don't overanalyze the start point, just get the slide in there. Open D and G. Then he does natural harmonics on the D7 and the B7. Okay, that's just how he did it. Oops. Okay, 129, section 1A 1 time. So obviously the meat of I don't know, is the... with different little endings on them. Section 1C, another variation. Start with the same A5 power chord. And then harmonic, 5G. It's a half step whammy dive back up. If you want to bend the neck, that's fine too. Continuing on from the 4DG, just like before. Up to the 5DG. I'm going to turn to page 3 here. Slide in 14A to a G chord. We're going to do this G. 3 up top, muted A, open D and G, 3B. To the same D we used earlier. Okay, now we have a new part, section 2. That's why I went section 1A one B and one C, because they're all the same hooks with just different endings. That same rock G, down, up, down. And then this 3D, just palm mute bar all the way down, go 5G and 6B. And what Randy does is he palm mutes the D string and then hits the G and B together, and then does it again, but then strums all four. So chunk, 2 notes, chunk, 4 notes. Back to the G. So that gives you and then right back to that same chord we were just doing. But this is played different. So palm mute 3D, 6B, 5G, 3D palm mute, and then 3 E and B. That's a hold as well, so those notes should be ringing together. Unless they're palm muted, naturally it'll cut it off. But and then 5E, half step bend release. So back to the G, but add the 3 on the high E string, make it a little fuller. And then I always love this. 𝐂𝐄𝐒 kind of copied this stylistic thing from Randy, but yep. There it is. So we're going to palm mute most of this. Alternate pick, down, up on the D string, G, D, B, G, then don't palm mute, but alternate pick the high E, the B, and the 5G once. So they're all doubles except for the ending. Okay, an F major from the D string down, 3-2, barred first fret, sounds like this. So there's your F, 2D, open G, 1B, 3E. It's an F with the, there's a few names for that one, but open, 2, 3, strings 5 through 2, that's our D chord. C add 9, it's 3A, muted D, open G, 3B. And then just take the middle, move it up to the 3E, and mute the A string, and that's our G chord. So C add 9 to G. So I love Randy's use of chords, because yeah, he would use some of the normal ones, but as you're going to find out in kind of the pre-chorus, he uses some amazing like classical stuff, very melodic. So he's back to section 1A at 156, altered endings, okay? So no star, in this one it'll be like a... What he does is picks the open G, hammers 5, no more picking. It'll be 6 of those, 4th fret twice, and then a 2. And that's all followed by an open. Use whatever finger. Okay, and then series of repeats. The next new part is section 3 at 216. And it's just another variation really off of like section 1A, B, and C. Matter of fact, the only difference between that and section 1A is this. Watch, we got our A5, 3E vibrato. Okay, that takes the place of the... Everything else is the same. More repeats. Let's get over to page 4. Okay, a new part. Section 4, 250 in. Oh yeah. And then into a really beautiful part. Open A palm muted twice, bar the 7th fret D, G, and B. And when you do these 7ths, hammer on to 9G, 8B. It's a little hard to hear this in the concert, but it's been a lot of time, man. This is a long one. And And then just back to the 7th vibrato. 7 DG to open DG. 3/5 AD to 3/5 EA. And that goes 3 times. 1 time is this. Okay, so after the 3rd one of those, go open A, 2 D and G, 3 E vibrato, 2 vibrato, pull off to open to 1, pull off open, into, we're going to change our channel here, to a little more of a clean tone. He's got some little distortion in it, but so we have, let's see, 1 second. Now he's got a lot of phase going, a lot of cool effects happening in here. It's a difficult thing because his chording is just beautifully arranged here. So go to the 5A, first finger. This is a hold, by the way. So once you'll see what I mean. We need the 7D, the 7G, and the 7B. So you may as well just make this full D major chord. Palm, or no, don't palm mute yet. Go 5A, and then palm mute the D and the A string. So it's 7G hammered to 9. So it's 7B. 5A, this part I had to listen to over and over. It's not in your face, but the way it's blended, when you single the guitar out, it seems like, no, that's not right. This is what he's doing. He's going palm muted 5A, as well as the open D, back to the 5A, to the 7B, and this is a hold, to 7G. Okay, and then this part. Palm mute 5/7 on the E, and we're going to build a chord from the 7. Go 5A, palm muted, open D, palm muted to 8B. So your chord is, right? Take your pinky up to 7G. I don't see any other way to do that. Well, probably is a way to do it. Right there. That may make more sense, Tony, if you go middle on that. Index here, pinky on the 8, 3rd finger on the G. It's a classical player, man, so this is normal for them. Yeah, we need to go with that route. Oh, I missed that in the get-go. So finger 2, finger 1, finger 4, and finger 3. It's a lot more sense. It keeps the continuity going, you know, so... open D palm muted to 2G. This is a hold, 3B. 1 pull off to open to 2G. And then double dots, so you're going to go back and repeat everything you just did. Oops. No star. Instead of that, you're going to go 3D to 3 high E. And this is hard to hear. It's in there. Go. So D, E, D, E, E, slide to the 5th fret. But those are all 3s over here. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, slide to 5. Oops. 3/16, section 5, no star. Now that's the meat of this part. You know, all that. But Randy's throwing in some end fillers here. Some double stops. 10th fret, D and G barred, hammer 12s, pull to 10. So, 10, now do it as a single on the D string twice. And then 12, slide to 9 on the A. So it's... And then, you gotta listen close, because Randy's just doing fillers here. It's not in your face. 324, 7 G and B index. You're gonna hammer to 9/8. Slide to 11/10. And then pick the 10 twice. And then go 7/10 D, DB. That's just an octave. So. And then 8 on the high E, slide to 7. Middle finger 7G. And then take your pick and say your middle finger and pluck that one. You're going to hit them together. Use your index on the high E, because we have to go sliding the 7 to a 9 on the G string and the 7 on the E to an 8, and then sliding it back. And if you've never done those, boy can they be tricky. You know, for a lot of people it's tough doing the same fret, but when you got to separate them, we have, right, but we're sliding, ascending, descending. Okay, top of page 5. Same kind of form here, but 5th fret, sliding to 7 and 6. Okay, and then go back to 5E, pick that, 5G, and then pluck them both and do the same concept. Slide to 6, 7, back to 5, 5. Right, just like we did here. So be good little things for you to focus on practicing. Section 6 at 3:30 in, still a play off of this, but he changed it a little. 3A slide to 5.